go. Theorems about perpendicular lines. Those of you that want title, anyone need that? Doing okay?
So are you like
Chapter which one?
Three.
Okay, I got it way over here. Excuse me?
Well, I wasn't listening. He was sitting over there.
Logan,
You gotta be so vicious.
Logan can be.
Okay.
I didn't know.
All right, theorem 3-1. I guess it was discussed already.
We were sitting over there. And I already
Okay.
got done at
Okay. All right. We dropped it. Theorem 3-1. All right angles are congruent. That is what it is. All right angles are congruent. Okay. Theorems are statements that can be proven. And so how would you convince someone that all right angles are congruent? Little square thing, so you think drawing a picture they would know what that meant? Okay, so here's a right angle. Another one.
Or just writing 90 degrees, saying it's a 90-degree angle.
Okay, or that it's 90 degrees. So what I'm showing right now, I understand you're getting right angles. Now how would you convince me that they are congruent?
little marky thing.
What's that little mark? Well, I've got some marking. What kind of marking?
No, I mean like the lines that show that it's congruent. Yeah.
The tick marks like this.
Yeah.
So that ray's the same length as that ray?
Yeah.
How long's a ray?
They
Go on
be
forever.
One way.
Yeah.
Goes on forever in one direction. So how long it is, that really doesn't make sense. Possibly.
You get,
What
when
does
you
congruent mean?
you divide
Same what?
length, like
On
Same.
angles, not the same
No.
length,
same degrees.
same degrees, okay?
So
So
divide 90 by 2.
divide 90 by 2.
Yeah.
Don't we want to just show that this 90 and this 90 basically are the same?
Well, if it's not 90, then it's not a right angle, so it would be.
Right, okay, so maybe with your picture,
Oh my
you said have a picture there, maybe just clarifying that the measure of angle R equals the measure of angle T,
I'm saying I want the
because they're both
sides.
90 degrees.
Oh,
And if they're both
you know-
90
you know
degrees,
what I mean.
Congruent sign.
I was just saying.
The congruent sign over the equal sign.
then angle R is congruent to angle T. So probably kind of the combination. We needed to clarify that we've got more than one angle and they're 90-degree angles, they're right angles, that's our definition. Then we clarify that, well, if they're both 90 degrees, they're equal to each other, and since they're equal to each other, we know that they're congruent. That would be the idea of doing a proof to prove that all right angles are congruent. We start out with right angles, we do the thinking sequence to come up with the perpendicular part. Okay? So are you comfortable with the fact that all right angles are congruent? Does that make sense to you? They're all 90 degrees, they would be congruent. Okay? All right, that's called theorem 3-1. Theorem 3-2. All of these theorems today deal with perpendiculars. Theorem 3-2. If two lines are perpendicular, then they intersect to form four right angles.
I'm stupid.
Move that chair.
Oh, I'll be fine. I need to stand up for a little bit.
He's tough. He hopped off the field. Don't know many people that do that, do you?
Okay. Yeah, we probably do need to talk. Our place for tornadoes is Mrs. Snyder's room. And I guess I was thinking too, well, and that also brought up, yeah, we did have bad weather yesterday. Also the emergency, like the code red drill type of thing, you know, intruder in the building, yeah, kind of go back to that area. And I think my door's not
Or I just
locked
find something
correctly
small
today.
I could fit in that closet back there.
Mr. Schwartz opened my room today and didn't lock my door back.
You gotta brag about it.
He's not a midget. He's just super skinny.
What's that supposed to mean, Brandon?
He's
All right.
super skinny, that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay, got your notes?
No.
Okay, now after you've written it, then we need to think about it. Okay, guys, too talkative today, there's less people, it shouldn't be that noisy. All right, so think about what this is saying and draw yourself a picture. If two lines are perpendicular, that's the hypothesis part. So draw yourself a picture on your paper. We have two lines that are perpendicular. Two lines that are perpendicular. Now it says they intersect to form four right angles. So can you convince me that if we have two lines intersecting, we have four right angles?
If you draw a, okay.
Okay, so there's two intersecting lines, perpendicular. What do I need to mark to show perpendicular? The square corner?
Squares, one all.
Okay, so is angle 1 a right angle?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes, because perpendicular, 90 degrees, right angle. Okay, so now convince me, it said that it forms not just one right angle, but four right angles.
Put them in all
Yeah,
corners.
No, you have to put the little square thingy, not that one, the left one.
This one?
No,
This
left
one?
bottom, there we go.
Okay, do you have a reason?
Oh.
Congruent.
I just saw it in the book, so that's what I.
No, no, the vertical
Alright, so
angle
let's-
theorem.
Okay, bringing up some things that we've studied. Brandon just mentioned vertical angle theorem.
Yeah.
The angle here and the angle across from it, the vertical angle theorem said that they're congruent.
Yeah.
Oh, so.
So this one would be 90 degrees.
So, well, if you think about it, it's an 80-degree angle.
Okay, so keep going.
It's,
So what's the next fact to get like this angle to be 90? Because I don't know it's vertical.
Subtract 180 from 90.
Okay, where's he getting the 180 idea?
Because each,
Because it's a straight line and a straight line is 180.
Straight line, straight angle makes 180 degrees total. Didn't we also have, one day we talked about vertical angles, but we also talked about the angles that are side by side like that, making a line, linear pair. And what did the theorem say about linear pairs of angles? Okay, the word that was used,
supplement.
supplementary, okay? So those linear pairs are supplementary, and supplementary means add up to 180. So through all those thoughts, we do get this one to be 90 degrees. And if we would go maybe down, or maybe just do the bottom part, these two would be a linear pair, so they would be supplements also. So this angle would be 90. Or you could do the vertical to the green 90. So once we get one of those, we can get the other. So we did convince ourselves, maybe prove to ourselves, that if you start out with two perpendicular lines, there's not only one right angle, but there are four right angles. Okay? Did we convince you, Jacob? Yeah? All right, on page 115, a little check of understanding. So you need your book to look at. I've got the diagram, but I didn't write out all the problems. Page 115. Good to have things out of the aisles for him. Okay, page 115. That's the diagram, and there's checkpoint questions, kind of in the middle. In the middle, see the heading checkpoint?
No, I feel my trash when it's stretched.
Oh my god.
No, it just feels so good.
Okay, hold your book up, page 115. Okay, on your notes off to the side there, you're supposed to determine whether enough information is given to conclude that the statement is true. And we'll do the discussing for the explain, so you don't have to write down the explain. But go through on that picture, which is in your book, is it correct that angle 6 is congruent to angle 10? Putting true or false, yes or no? Yep, 1, 2, 6. Yeah, this is example of those last two.
Dustin, all my papers fell out of my binder because
Brandon, did you want these problems done?
my papers fell out of my
Okay,
binder.
well, can we deal with it later so we can see the example problems?
Yeah.
It's either you need one of these two there. Angle 7 and angle 10 are compared themselves. So it's vertexes here, 10 is there. Yes.
Yes, here we go.
So we don't need to explain it, or do you want
I didn't really say you had to write it down, but maybe we will talk about it. That's what I said, that we would discuss the explain. But when you're doing your homework and it says explain, you do need to write down an explanation because we're not there to discuss it. But I guess I thought in class here we would just discuss it rather than take the time to write it down.
Maybe we could start a group call and explain it over the phone.
You would participate in that?
Yeah,
Be honest,
really?
Holden.
Would you?
Probably not.
Probably kind of a waste of time.
You're a waste of
Did you
time.
guys get to the end of them? Okay, Colton, which angles are number 1? Which angles do I need to look at?
6 and 10.
6 and 10, were they congruent?
C.
Okay, explain now.
Uh-oh. Well, they both form a right angle.
Okay, because of those markings, they both form a right angle, so yes or true, there is enough information to conclude that. Okay, number 2, Austin, which angles are they on number 2?
7 and
7 and 10, are those congruent?
10. Yes.
You're gonna have to convince me.
Because 7 is 90 degrees also.
How do you know that?
Vertical angles.
Okay, vertical angle theorem.
Dang it.
Okay, so then he's got 90 there, so his yes was correct. Okay, number 3, Emma, which angles? 6 and 8,
Yeah.
okay, and did you say yes or no?
So, no.
Okay, why didn't you think those were congruent?
Well, like, I went after I did it.
Okay.
I had to consider.
Okay, do you agree with her
Yeah.
that it's a no?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay,
the 8 doesn't add up to 90.
Okay.
It's too, like, steep of an
yeah. Does it look like it's acute or obtuse?
angle. Acute.
Acute,
A
okay.
cute
And
angle.
we just definitely know that it's not perpendicular because there's no marking anywhere around here that tells me 90 degrees. So I would agree with you. No, there's not enough information.
It's a cute little
Okay,
angle.
number 4, Tristan, which one's for number 4?
7, maybe 11.
7 and 11. Did you think yes or no?
I thought, yeah.
Okay, convince me.
They both seem, because they're vertical angles and 90, so.
Okay, the vertical angles are 90, so if that's 90, that's 90, okay. So angle 7 was 90, we got earlier, and number 11 was 90, we're getting right now, so yes, they are. Okay, 5, Mitch, which angles?
7 and 9.
Okay? Are they congruent?
No.
Because?
It's 9, it's 90 degrees.
Yep, we don't know what it is, do we? Okay, so that was a no again. And Jamie, number 6?
I didn't do that.
Okay, Jacob? 6 and which one? 6 and 11? Okay, are they congruent? Yes, and we kind of went through the discussion already, getting the 90 there, so I guess that was explained. Okay,
That was a little bit difficult.
It was a little bit difficult?
Yes.
Okay, do you notice that the thing that they wanted to point out is that line H over there that has the angle 8 and angle 9, we don't know that that's at 90 degrees.
Okay.
So if you're trying to compare to that, you would have a no. Perfect scores on that? Who got them all right? Quite a few did?
Genius.
All right, let's do a couple more theorems. Okay, theorem 3.3. If two lines intersect to form adjacent congruent angles, then the lines are perpendicular. So once you write it down, we're gonna have to think about what that if part, how we would make that picture. If two lines intersect to form adjacent congruent angles, then the lines are perpendicular. Adjacent means they're hooked together and they're like side by side. So
2851.
here's an angle, say right on. They're hooked together at a vertex on this side. Side of this angle, and this side of this angle. They don't have to be the same size. Just be side by side.
Oh, I see what you did, you made an if-then statement.
What's an if-then statement? And if-then was a conditional. The if part's called the
Hypothesis.
hypothesis.
Then the conclusion.
Conclusion. So we need to draw a picture of the hypothesis and then see if that makes sense, that the conclusion is correct. So yes, if-then statements. I think the last one was a if-then, the first one wasn't. It just said all right angles are congruent. How would that be in an if-then?
If
All
You're saying it backwards. What did we draw first when we did that one? Didn't we draw right angles?
if it is a right angle.
Yeah, you probably have to say if you have two. If there are two right angles, then they are congruent. There's one right angle, can't be congruent, it's gotta be congruent to something else. Okay, so how are we gonna draw this if part? How do we do the hypothesis? Two lines intersect to form adjacent congruent angles. I was reviewing with Tristan what adjacent means. What's adjacent?
Oh, same.
They're
right
like
next to each other.
They're right next to each other.
They are right next to each other, sharing the same vertex, and there's a ray that's the same on each one. So I have to hook two angles together side by side, and they have to be congruent. What's that mean? Equal, same degree measure. Okay. And I need to use two lines when I do that. So, okay, here's one line. Now, how would I position the next line so that when they intersect, the two angles formed are gonna be congruent, and of course, they'll be side by side? Right down the middle? What do you mean down the middle?
Like, so they're both 90 degree angles, because if it was
They-
like going in an angle or like a diagonal, it would be the same.
Okay, so you're saying to make them the same, this has to be 90 degrees and this has to be 90 degrees?
Well, I mean, because if you did a diagonal, then the one angle would be different degree, the other one would be.
Okay, so this would be more like 30 degrees and 150 degrees.
Yeah.
That doesn't fit with what it said because it said that they had to be congruent. Okay, so we're agreeing on the first picture?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did it say the conclusion would be? Then the lines are perpendicular. Are these two lines
Yes.
perpendicular?
Yep.
Yes, what's perpendicular mean?
They're like intersect
Intersect.
on the same plane.
Intersect, they're all on the same plane. What's a little bit more?
They
Look at your notes from yesterday. What's intersect mean? Intersect, or what's perpendicular mean?
Two lines that intersect at right angle.
Okay, intersect at a right angle. So as we discussed, those angles had to be 90 to be congruent and adjacent like that. So yes, they're 90 degrees. So the fact that those are 90 perpendicular, we do have the conclusion correct. All right, and I think there's one more theorem. 3-4. If two sides of adjacent acute angles are perpendicular, then the angles are complementary. If two sides of adjacent acute angles are perpendicular, then the angles are complementary. Okay, ready to think about this one? If two sides of adjacent acute angles are perpendicular, okay, let's see if we can make a picture of that. Adjacent, we just said means, did we just a little bit ago? Okay, side by side. Okay, so two angles side by side hooked together. What's acute mean?
That they're less than 90.
Okay, so we've got two small angles that need to be hooked together. So let me kind of start drawing a picture. Here's one angle, and here's another angle. Those two are
Acute.
both acute and they're adjacent. Let's see if I finished the picture right. If two sides of adjacent acute angles are perpendicular, do I have a perpendicular in there?
No.
Not yet. So which sides, do I want angle 2 to be perpendicular? Two sides of the adjacent acute angles. That's not the sides that we want. We want like the first side of angle 1 and then this last side of angle 2. They need to make a 90 degree with this side and that side. That's what they're describing in the picture. Those are adjacent, they're both acute, and the sides form or are perpendicular. That's what the picture is. Now the conclusion says then the angles are complementary. Mitch, what's complementary mean? They have to add up to 90. So,
Yep.
yeah, 30 and
Or 30.
60 maybe, 40 and 50. So would that agree with the picture? Looking at the picture, is it telling us that angle 1 and 2 would add up to 90 degrees? Does that make sense in the picture? So yes, they do. Let's put an example of 30 degrees and 60 degrees, or whatever numbers you want. So they would be complementary because the measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 does equal 90 degrees. Okay. So let's see if you can do a little bit of using those theorems. Okay, so here's a sample problem. Read through what it says and tell me what to mark on the picture.
That GEH is supposed to be 30 degrees.
This one's 30 degrees,
Yeah.
okay?
They need it back.
What's this top thing say?
EF and EH are perpendicular.
Okay, perpendicular means
They form
they form a 90, so EF, this ray, and EH, this ray, form a 90-degree angle. Might not look like it, but we're gonna use it, because maybe I just didn't draw very well.
Just throw 60 on top and call it.
Okay, the other angle would be 60, okay?
Or some other.
How are you getting 60? He's doing 90 minus 30
Yeah.
and getting 60, okay? So does that help us get Y? Would you say Y was? How are you finishing the problem? How's
You
he
divide
getting
it
the
by
10?
6.
Dividing the.
Okay. So he's kind of thinking the 6Y is 60 is what I'm guessing. And then you're dividing by 6? So y is
Either
10?
that or you could just take 6 times 10 and get 60.
You mean just guessing a number?
Not guessing a number. If it's 60, then you know 6 times 10 is 60.
Because
That
you're-
one's easy, but
Because you're good?
you're not going to be able to do that on everyone.
Right, not on everyone. Okay, so I want you to look at another possible way to set it up. Without having to come up with that 60 in between, we could just say 6y and 30 have to add up to 90.
True.
And you would subtract 30 to solve it. And that's where we got that 60. This is exactly what we wrote over here. So you could start with the 90 idea in order to come up with it. So. All right, page 116. So flip your page in your book. There's another set of checkpoints. I think it's like 3 problems to calculate. Yes, write them down. Okay, down at the bottom of that page, see problems 7, 8, and 9.
Oh, yeah.
Those deal with theorems that we just did. It said find the value of the variable, and yeah, we're gonna have to explain your reasoning. Shall we just talk about the explaining?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, give you some time to do 7, 8, and 9. We're not done yet. Do we really need calculators?
I think that's.
The one day I remember
Think about the theorems that you wrote down today. You probably have your notes right in front of you. If you made the pictures, they probably look similar to some of those problems. That will help you know which theorem to use. Explaining your reasoning is going to be like naming a theorem, find the value of the variable. Yeah.
I think we're just
Oh, she
talking
told you
about
that.
it.
She told you just to go.
I think that's what we're doing now.
Yep.
Dustin. Sure.
Haha.
I think it actually would. Oh. One last one.
Now 5 times what's 4 though?
You look good this one.
Very good.
You looking good this one.
Hilton's just got his stuff all over. We're gonna force Mr. Vogt to fall.
I'm getting pretty good on
Well, it needs. they
He
need to
hopped
have
off the field, man.
You've been this?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that takes a tough man. That I mean, the guy just tore his ACL and he's hopping off the field. He's like, like, coach.
All right, are we done with these problems?
I think something's wrong with my leg.
Okay, very good. Did you get number 7 done yet?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, can you tell me how you came up with your answer?
Well, I did 5 equals 90. 5x equals 90.
5x equals 90,
Yep.
okay,
And then I divided by 5.
and you got
18.
18. Correct. I just did that one with Jacob, and that was the answer we got. Okay, the 5x equals 90. What theorem? You got your theorem notes in front of you? Which theorem that we did
3.1.
today was that one?
3.1, because all right angles are congruent.
But how did you know that was a right angle? It wasn't a right angle marking in the picture, was it?
Well, if you,
What did it have?
The
It had
So-
congruent markings, so look at your theorems. Which one in the if part does it talk about congruent angles that are adjacent?
3.1.
3.1 doesn't say congruent angles that are adjacent.
Oh, adjacent.
theorem 3.3.
3 is the one. We have 2 lines intersecting to form adjacent congruent angles. That's the theorem we've got. Then the lines were perpendicular. So on the explaining, I could put theorem 3 to support it. So instead of writing out the theorem, on the explain on your homework, you can tell which theorem number it was. Okay, was there another way to do that problem? Did anyone do 5x plus 5x equals 180 degrees? No? Okay, you could do that way also.
Wait, we had to put the theory.
Yeah, that's what the explaining could be, like when you're doing your homework then. Tell which theory it is. Yep, we were explaining how to work the problem out. We found x and that's our support. I let you skip writing down the support because we said we talked about it already.
Thank you.
Okay, number 2, explain your reasoning. How did you come up with your answer and what did you get? Dustin?
Okay, so took 9y plus 36 equals 90. And then I subtracted 36, and I got 9y equals 54.
54?
Divided by 9, y equals 6.
Okay, now that would be fine and dandy if we can support that first equation. So what supports the fact that 9y plus 36 equals 90? You have a theorem that we just did. Okay, so let's look through our theorems. What would support that?
Number 1.
Theorem 3.3, or 3.4.
Okay, is it 3.1 or is it 3.4? Is it one angle that's 90? Or is it more than one angle that together makes 90?
It's 1
Yeah, if 2
Well,
sides.
why are you adding 2 things to be
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I got it. It's 3.4.
You were right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
3.4.
Colton was wrong. It's 3.4.
Because
Susie
because
all
it's
right
doing the
angles.
sides of the adjacent angle.
Okay, right. The picture has the sides of the adjacent angles making a 90-degree angle. So that is the theorem that we supported. Okay. All right, and number 9. How do we do number 9, Kylie?
I just did 90
And why did you do 90 divided by 2?
because there's a square from one side tells you that 8 equals 90.
Okay, so together those 2 angles make 90, which kind of looks like this last one. Was that supported then by theorem 3.4? That together they would be complementary, together they would add up to 90? I think that would be the same theorem. Okay, and so that's where she got the 2 idea and divided. So Z was 45 and theorem 3.4 was supported. All right, perfect on that set of problems. All right?
Well,
This, which one, the last one?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you come up with?
I didn't get to
I
the
didn't.
last one.
I didn't understand it.
Okay, do you understand where we got that equation?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like the one before, but they just made those 2 congruent instead of different. Okay, but they still do add together to be 90 degrees. Okay, so some of what you're doing on your assignment will be supporting what theorem fits. you can use the theorem number rather than write out the numbers on those.
I just got to the second one.
I went too fast for you maybe. All right, let's do a little construction before we work on homework. So get up and get construction tools.
Let's get the blood flowing.
I think I do this thing.
Okay, get some construction tools and then find some paper. Maybe you have to flip to another page.
You don't mind it, if you're just so energized, you can go run around.
He's up and moving,
It's
that's
way
what we
too
needed to
early.
do.
It's